Well, that was unexpected, or was it? I just had to throw it out there, right? I had to say that I'm going to play in the Masters. Then I had to go out there and throw out a casual 84 in my first tournament sense. If that isn't golf, I don't know what is. But despite the last thumbnail, I'm not quitting. In the first video of this series, I outlined my grand plan to earn a ticket to the most prestigious tournament in golf, and in order to do that, I have to get better. To get better, I have to play in more tournaments. And I have to learn from those tournaments. If you haven't already, you can go back and watch all 84 shots in their glory, including my personal favorite, this one. To say it didn't go well is an understatement. Me, as a scratch golfer, posted a smooth 84 and just barely avoided DFL in a small field event on the US Am Tour. Now, as much as I'd like to just forget this round ever happened, that's not how you improve. I'm going to use this film room to show you how critical a post-round review is to improving your game faster. Now, most of you watching probably don't have video of your round where you can relive every lovable moment. But I'll show you how if you use the Tangent app, which I developed specifically to help myself improve, you can quickly get key takeaways to help you improve. And it's even better than video. Let's start with coachable moments in the round report. The coachable moments in Tangent highlights your 3 worst shots from your round of golf, and it allows you to quickly document what went wrong with the AI coach. I guarantee if you improve just your 3 worst shots from every round, you'll see scores improve. Think about it. Your worst shots are almost always penalties, 2 chips, or 3 putts that probably could have been avoided, saving you at least a stroke per event. But the key is understanding if those mistakes were due to strategy, technique, or mental game, so you know where to focus your attention when you practice. So let's look at my first coachable moment. It happened on hole 7. Up to that point, I was 3 over and had actually been gaining momentum when the unthinkable happened. After piping every tee shot up to that point, I pull hooked the driver straight into the hazard. But not just any hazard, one that was basically equivalent to out of bounds. It got me way out of position. So what happened? Let's talk to the AI coach in Tangent. Was it a good swing? No, it was a pull hook. How was the strike? The strike was fine. It was a center-faced pull hook. How were my pre-shot decisions? Well, it was the wrong club to an aggressive target. We'll track both of those. You see, in my pre-round game plan, I was hitting 3-wood on this hole. It's a dogleg left, and driver can typically go too far through the fairway. After making 3 early bogeys and actually driving the ball fairly well, I pulled an audible. I decided to hit driver. My logic? The ground is wet, this won't go through the fairway, and I'm hitting it well. Those were pretty sound thoughts, except standing over it, I didn't trust it. I didn't have a clear target and I knew I was going against my plan. The result was an uncommitted, quick golf swing that took any hope of winning this golf tournament and buried it deep in the creek. Okay, that was bad. One swing definitely cost me 1.6 strokes that the coach highlights in the Tangent app, but in reality it probably actually cost me closer to 3 shots. I ended up making a triple on this hole. After the tee shot, I still had to lay up, and the green is no picnic. It was an expensive audible. Glad we're done talking about that one, because surely it can't get any worse. Oh yeah, I chunked a chip a whopping 4 yards. That was embarrassing. Let's talk to coach. All right, so that was bad contact because I chunked it or hit it fat. Did the lie impact the result? I'd say so. It was soupy and wet, and I'm not good at that shot, and probably a steep swing with the 56 was a bad choice. Something with less loft and more bounce would have been more forgiving to get it out of the soup. Coach will log that info and bring it up later so that I know what to work on. Last coachable moment. Let's go back all the way to hole 11. I had 4 feet for birdie, my best look of the day, and it's also the shortest putt I missed. In fairness, it wasn't an easy putt, but I also didn't hit a good one. I was between reads, hit it hard and left edge, or soft and a cup out left. I hit it soft and left edge. It's a bad combo, and I missed low. So we'll mark that I missed low, and I'll note that it was an uncommitted read. That right there, if we do the math, is 3 plus 1 plus 1. That's 5 shots I could have been better, and an 84 turns into a 79. Still not good enough for my goal of winning the US Mid-Am, but it helped me sleep at night. Let's go back to the Tangent round report. You'll see at the top of the round report that Tangent highlights 4 big mistakes that translate to higher scoring. These are for the most parts the items we just covered in coachable moments: penalties, 3 putts, recoveries. You always want to work on minimizing these mistakes to score your best for your current skill level, but if you're trying to upgrade your skill level, you really need to be using strokes gained. So let's scroll down to the strokes gained summary and see how I compared to my target of being an elite amateur. And honestly, it wasn't pretty. I lost strokes across the board, which is pretty rare for me, but where I lost the most and where I always lose the most is approach. I lost 4.7 strokes to an elite amateur. I have to get better at ball striking if I'm going to compete in the US Mid-Am against some of the best amateurs in the world. But approach is a pretty big category, so what do I work on? Do I just bash 7-irons until my hands bleed? Luckily, we have some answers in the round report as we continue on. I hit 7 of 18 greens, and 9 of the 11 I missed were due to approach game. That makes sense. Hitting greens is the fastest way to improve, and 7 greens isn't going to cut it for where I want to go. So let's keep going down the rabbit hole. Again, I lost 4.7 strokes due to approach. 3.3 of those were due to direction, and 1.3 were due to distance control. That again makes sense. My memory says I had a case of the lefts. I missed the 6th green to the left, I missed the 9th to the left, I missed the 12th to the left, the 13th, I missed the 16th to the left. You get the point. So I need to figure out how to not miss left. I remember in the round feeling lost. I was hitting the ball solid, just solidly left. Looking back at the video, I noticed my feet suspiciously lined up left for several of those shots. So I don't think it was a face control issue, I think it was an alignment issue. But even if you didn't have video, you can use a launch monitor or alignment sticks on the range to figure out for sure. I need to start using my Tour Aim again. For me, Tour Aim is the best alignment tool out there. I've used it to help me in a number of ways, including fixing my path late in 2023 that I'll cover in another video. I love it so much, I asked them to make me an affiliate. So if you want to save on Tour Aim yourself, use promo code TANGENT for 10% off. It's a great product, I love it, and it'll help you get aimed at the target. This feeling of missing left is confirmed by the Tangent round report. It shows that I missed primarily left and short. Left cost me the most strokes as those shots were the worst statistically and got me in the most trouble. But let's not ignore the short ones. I missed the 1st and 2nd green short as well as the 13th and 18th. The quick analysis there, I was tentative. Early in the round, I was playing safe, too safe. I made chicken swings that ended well short of my target. That can be my tendency in tournaments, to be overly cautious, when it is almost always better to choose a club, hit it hard, and accept the result. You can't steer a ball around the golf course. So we'll take note of the mental item to work on, commit to the shot, accept the result. So those are the biggest things to work on. I could keep going and dive into driving or putting that were also poor by tapping these tabs in the round report. And let me know in the comments if you want me to be more thorough in these reviews. But for now, we're going to wrap up with this. I'm going to base my practice over the next couple weeks on these observations from this video. We'll work on alignment with my irons using my Tour Aim. We'll try to narrow up that dispersion, and then we'll work on commitment in my next tournament. When you get nervous, your worst skills are exposed, and I was certainly exposed here. Golf is funny like that. After a summer of playing the best golf of my life, I put up an 84 in my first tournament. If you haven't watched the play-by-play of the round, you should. All my insecurities came out. I'm doing something hard. I'm a 40-year-old father trying to run a startup. What makes me think I can play elite golf? But that's the journey I'm on. That's why I'm here. Maybe that's why you're here. And I promise I'll improve. That's the one thing I know how to do. Get better every single day. If you've made it this far, smash that like and subscribe. Leave me a comment, encourage me, ridicule me, and use promo code GOODMISS for 10% off a subscription to the Tangent app. Oh, and I almost forgot. Did you know that you can follow my journey in the Tangent app? Under the community tab, you can follow me. You can get notifications when I play, you can view my stats, compare your stats to mine if you use it for your own golf, or you can even follow along live in my round reports in these film room sessions. It's one of my favorite features, and to follow me doesn't require a subscription. We'll see you next time on The Good Miss.